CTV News at 5 with Tony Ryma and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. So glad you decided to join us on this Friday, March 13th. 4 people have been arrested in North Bay in connection to a murder investigation. Last month, police found human remains in the Mulligan Street area, later confirming the body was that of a man who had been reported missing January 30th. Police have charged a 50-year-old woman and a 19-year-old man with first-degree murder, indignity to a dead body, and several other offenses. 2 other men have also been charged in connection to the homicide. So let's talk weather. March break has arrived for students and more snow is falling. To tell us how much we're going to get, let's bring in CTV's Rick Wyman. Rick.
Okay, Tony, so let's pretend that the kids are in school Monday. Monday would certainly be a snow day because we are going to get all kinds of snow and freezing rain in Northeastern Ontario. Systems map, according to CAA right now. Get your membership today at caa.ca. You see that system lurking right behind me right now, right around there. It's going to surface in Northeastern Ontario late Sunday afternoon into the evening. Lots of snow. I'll have word on that coming up on the 5-day forecast. Had a chance to talk to Environment Canada earlier today, and Trudy Kidd was quite informative about what we can expect. You're not going to like it, Tony, but those are the facts. Back to you.
Thanks, Rick. The largest employer in Bruce Mines, east of Sault Ste. Marie, is working on a project to make shipping trap rock more environmentally friendly. Today, Canada's Minister of Transportation announced millions for the initiative. CTV's Corey Nordstrom has more.
It's the off-season at the Ontario Trap Rock Quarry in Bruce Mines, except for some work being done thanks to a $6.4 million investment from the federal government.
What this is allowing us to do is to build a 2-kilometer long conveyor system to move the stone from the quarry down to the dock, which is on the other side of Highway 17, and then will allow us to do live loading of ships, the Great Lakes freighters, as they come in, as opposed to now, where we have to stockpile material on the dock and then ship it out.
This money comes from Canada's Green Shipping Corridors program, but with trap rock typically being used for railway ballast, asphalt, and concrete, it aligns with other government plans.
Think of all the highways, think of all the transit that we're building, think of all the rail that we're building right across this country from east to west. This is at the very base of everything that we need to accomplish as a country.
The environmental benefits for the project are twofold. Not only will the conveyor negate the number of diesel trucks heading back and forth from quarry to port, but it makes use of a marine shipping system where one ship can move the same amount of aggregate as 301 rail cars or 964 trucks.
If we use boats and we use our geographical location, which we are, the hub of the Great Lakes, the markets that Bruce Mines can access are unlimited, because not only in Canada, they can also access the American market.
Without rock trucks constantly crossing the highway, there's believed to be added safety benefits as well.
There are people that speed through town, are not going the speed limit, and they could very easily come up on a truck that has just started to pull out. So by going underneath the highway, definite improvement.
The conveyor should be operational by the summer. Officials expect the new system will increase output volumes by 25% and lead to hiring. Corey Nordstrom, CTV News, Bruce Mines.
Family and friends are grieving after a young woman from Greater Sudbury died unexpectedly while on vacation. They say the devastation of that loss is lessened by the outpouring of support they've received. We get more from CTV's Angela Gemmell.
Brooke Morneau loved pink Starbucks drinks, Taylor Swift music, being a nurse, and her fiance, Devin.
There's a lot of great characteristics there that we can unpack, but the main one is she was so caring and kind to everyone she met.
The 24-year-old's life was cut short when she died unexpectedly while on vacation in Dominican Republic. She'd been traveling with her fiancé and his family to celebrate his mom's birthday.
It actually was a nice day. It's too bad, like it's all shadowed now by what happened.
The Gavins say last Friday evening at the resort, Brooke said she felt off and went to bed. The next morning, she woke up vomiting and continued to feel ill. She and Devin went to see the medic at the resort, who called for an ambulance ambulance to take her to the hospital. That's where she died on Sunday.
We thought she would be fine, like she was doing very well until she wasn't. And then the next day she did unfortunately pass away.
The Gavins say the situation was made even worse by the language barrier of the hospital staff who only spoke Spanish. Now the family is left with unanswered questions like what made this vibrant 24-year-old so sick?
I don't even have the words to describe what it's like, but say it's very awful to feel that way and to lose someone so quickly, someone so special to me.
In an email, her family says they weren't up to an interview due to the extremely devastating trauma of everything that happened, saying Brooke was deeply loved and they're heartbroken by the loss. After the death, Devon's brother started a GoFundMe to help pay to bring her body home to Canada, as well as the funeral and other expenses. The response has been overwhelming.
It brings some comfort in a time that comfort is very much needed, and it's heartwarming, really. There's so much gratitude, it's hard to express it.
Touched by the community support and across Canada, really.
Brooke was a nurse at Health Sciences North, where they've lowered the flag to half-mast in her honor. Funeral arrangements aren't yet complete as the family is still waiting for her body to be returned to Canada. Angela Gemmell, CTV News, Sudbury.
It's time for a quick break. Coming up on CTV News at 5, Rick has your full weather forecast. Right now we are heading to Gillies Lake in Timmins. This live webcam is courtesy of that city. It's -8 Celsius. We're back in just a few minutes.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400. From your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Welcome to weekend weather, and it's not pretty, trust me, but remember, I am just the messenger in this case. This is the system that you can see right now that's going to affect us by about 5 o'clock late Sunday afternoon, early evening. Now, had a chance to talk to Tracy Kidd, a meteorologist with Environment Canada. But a lot of misinformation about weather totals over the course of the last day or so. She says a Colorado low, now in its infancy, will bring anywhere from 40 to 60 centimeters of snow beginning through Sault Ste. Marie, tracking all the way up towards Timmins. Now that Highway 17 corridor beginning on Manitoulin Island will shift and go east and affect Sudbury and North Bay. 15 millimeters of rain, freezing rain. It's going to be messy either way. You can see the rain to the south and the snow to the north, and of course that's going to continue with gusting winds of up to 80 kilometers per hour. Conditions, visibility will be treacherous, and again, this will last into Monday, into early Tuesday morning. It's not nice, so bunker down and be safe. Let's take a look at some of the numbers now that we've got coming up. Saturday, chance of flurries -3, snow, freezing rain on Sunday -6, and again, that will continue Monday. Freezing rain and rain, 3 degrees, -10 Tuesday, chance of flurries, and a reprieve, sun and cloud Wednesday at -6 degrees. Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, sunshine tomorrow -2. Then the snow arrives on Sunday, late Sunday afternoon, early evening -3. Snow blowing snow Monday -6, -9 on Tuesday. Chance of flurries, and Wednesday some cloud cover and -5. In Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, not that bad for now. Get a bit of a break, but it may occur later, at least those miserable conditions. Sunny skies -6 for tomorrow, Sunday. Chance of snow. Snow, blowing snow, -8 on Monday. Then the chance of flurries on Tuesday, -13 as it cools down. -7 Wednesday with the sun and cloud. Temiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake, periods of snow tomorrow, -4. Snow on Sunday, it'll get there eventually, -6, and lots of snow. Some sleet Monday, 0. Chance of flurries on Tuesday, -11, and -7 come Wednesday with that sun and cloud, and a drop in evening temperatures, as you can see. North Bay, West Nipissing, chance of flurries tomorrow, -3 with the snow on Sunday. That'll be after it hits, of course, Sudbury and parts in between. Monday, some sleet. You're going to get a little bit of everything on Monday. 3 degrees, -10. Your expected high Tuesday, chance of flurries, add some sun and cloud. Wednesday, -5. So again, this system, a Colorado low, moving in, will cross Superior, hits Sault Ste. Marie, bridge its way up towards Timmins. And again, that'll be the brunt of the snow. Highway 17 beginning on Manitoulin Island late Sunday afternoon, early evening. That rain, freezing rain, lots of it along that Highway 17 corridor. Tony, it ain't pretty. Those are the facts. Back to you.
Thanks for that, Rick. Today in Sudbury, the province welcomed Ontario Mine Rescue to the Ontario Corps. It's the province's newest partner as it builds a network to protect communities during emergencies and natural disasters. CTV's Alan Everson has more.
The Minister of Emergency Preparedness and Response signs a Memorandum of Understanding with Ontario Mine Rescue at the agency's head office in Sudbury.
Well, we're seeing the frequency as well of some of these emergencies or disasters happening in areas. So we want to have that coordinated approach that when a municipality reaches out to the Provincial Emergency Operations Centre, we're able to coordinate from the top up to provide those additional supports to help build the capacity in communities.
We have our mine rescue stations set up in 9 different communities across the province. So from Windsor, Ontario, right to Red Lake, Ontario. And we train just over 1,200 mine rescue volunteers annually.
The Ontario Corps was formed in 2024 and is creating a network of partners and volunteers ready to respond to local emergencies and quickly deploy critical resources.
Seeing in our country, a lot of things changing. Everything from climate change is leading to events like the minister spoke about a huge ice storm in her community last year, and we also have some geopolitical instability. So we don't know what the world brings tomorrow.
As we go around the north, we know the distances, so we know the collaboration between this and all our small communities. What it means to everyone when we know that if there is a disaster in your area or a weather event, that there's going to be help coming, and we share that responsibility.
Ontario Mine Rescue says its responders are trained to operate in conditions where visibility is low. Hazards are complex, and decisions need to be made quickly and safely. By connecting with Ontario Corps, it's extending this expertise beyond mine sites. Alana Everson, CTV News, Sudbury.
The ice fishing season is coming to a close, and some Sudburyans are still dropping a line this week, but indoors. The 51st annual John Hazen Memorial Sudbury Game and Fish Pond is underway at Countryside Arena. Anglers of all ages get a chance to try and hook a trout to raise funds for conservation efforts in the area. The group's vice president says it's a tradition in the city and a great chance to introduce your child to fishing.
We started with 800 fish, mixed speckled and rainbow trout. I think so far we've had 125, 130 fish caught today. So we're down to about 670 fish. There's been another 100, 150 fish caught and released, which we like to see because we're a conservation club.
The fish pond will run until March 22nd. Tickets are $5 for a round, 3 rounds for $10, and for the family, 20 rounds for $50. The NOJHL regular season is winding down. Coming up on CTV News at 5. In hockey this week, CTV's Rick Wyman talks with League Commissioner Rob Mazuka.
Hockey This Week is brought to you by Rastall Nut and Bolt Company. As always, we touch base with NOJHL Commissioner Robert Mazuka at the conclusion just before the playoffs start in the NOJHL. Welcome to the program. Glad to see you've got a couple of teams in Sudbury and, of course, Hearst ranked in the top 20. Successful season in your mind? Happy? Not happy?
Thanks for having me, Rick. No, it's been a great season. Excellent finish. We're not finished yet, but we're getting towards the finish line. No, it's been a good year. Been a long year. As expected, it's a battle for the top 4, and then Sudbury just recently locked it in, and then second, third, and fourth is a flip of a coin, and it's going right down to the wire.
Now, what I like most about the race this year is that you've got 4 teams in contention for second, third, or fourth. Did you anticipate this? I mean, we saw the positions change from time to time, but right now it's anyone's guess.
Well, the 8th place was just concluded on the weekend, and that was a fight right to the end between the three teams, and Kirkland Lake was the the victor there. We knew it'd be highly competitive. We knew it would be tight, but this is I would say, a bit of an understatement. It's going, like I said, right down to the wire, and so we'll see what happens this week.
Now, did you envision Sudbury making it 3 league titles consecutively?
Well, they have a good program. They run a good operation, and they're very competitive, and a lot of people want to play for Sudbury. You got a track record of a history, and you got good coaches, and you got a good on ice and off ice programming. So, the bigger centers always seem to attract, and that's no different this year. And let's see if they can three-peat. So it's going to be a pretty exciting playoff. We're all looking forward to it.
Okay, I won't put you out on the limb and say predict the winner, because you can't do that as the commissioner. Got to talk to you, though, about French River. There's been talk about a possible relocation. There's been a lot of talk about the lack of community support. What's the status of French River at the conclusion with only 4 wins this year heading into next season? Will it be French River or will it be elsewhere?
Well, that's to be determined. At this time, we're still not 100% sure of what's going to happen officially. There's been some talks amongst various parties, and we'll see how that all plays out. But at the end of the day, the NOJHL Board of Directors will make a final decision on their status for next year.
Okay, Hearst, Sudbury, are we looking at a repeat final from last year?
I don't know. Playoffs, right? Goaltending. Yes. I always say the hottest goalie. You get down to a last 2 or 3 games out of 7. You just don't know. And I think there's gonna be a surprise or two, is what I think is gonna happen, and I just don't know which series it's gonna be, but I think there'll be a few surprises.
As only the commissioner can say out loud and on record, Robert Mazuka, the commissioner of the NOJHL, dying to see some great playoff hockey, and if you can duplicate last year's playoff final between Hearst and Sudbury, you've got a lot of things going right in your league. Thanks for doing this.
Thanks very much, Rick.
And we're back with more hockey this week in 7 days.
And last night in the NOJHL, the Sudbury Cubs waited until the 3rd period to turn on the Jets, scoring 4 unanswered. In the final frame, they beat the Sioux Eagles 6-2. Tonight, the Iroquois Falls Storm are in Noëlville to face off against the French River Rapids, and the Hearst Lumberjacks will take on the Powassan Voodoos. Both those games are 7 o'clock starts. The Kirkland Lake Gold Miners travel to Timmins to face the Rock, and the Greater Sudbury Cubs are up against the Espanola Paper Kings tonight. Puck drop for those games is 7:10. To the OHL, where the Sioux Greyhounds were in Windsor last night for a game against their division rivals. Brady Martin netting his first goal since returning to the lineup and putting the Hounds on the board. But Marcus Minosa would score the rest of the goals, including an overtime marker for the hat trick. Hounds win 4-3. And overtime, the name of the game last night. The North Bay Battalion would need the extra frame to down the top-rated Brantford Bulldogs 3-2. Tonight, the Bulldogs land in the Nickel City to take on the Sudbury Wolves. Puck drop is 7:05 at the Sudbury Community Arena. And the Greyhounds continue their road trip south of the border in Flint to beat the Firebirds. Game time there is 7 o'clock. A Northern Ontario athlete recently took home first place at the Strongwoman World Championships U57 division. Today, she shares her passion for the sport that she says saved her life. CTV's Lindsay Alick has more.
Brianne Tessier landed on top of the podium, taking home first place at the Strongwoman World Championships earlier this month in Ohio. But life wasn't always this way.
If I could turn my life around from doing 20 Percocets a day for almost 2 years to winning a world championship, that's a huge 180. And I just want people to realize that it's possible, so that they don't quit, they don't give up, they don't quit on themselves. You know, like, you can do it. You can turn your life around completely. You can literally be a world champion. All you have to do is believe.
Tessier grew up playing sports but stopped when she left post-secondary. She says that's when her addiction began. In 2020, she was introduced to strongman competitions but didn't take it seriously until she became sober 3 years later.
I think we had the regionals in Elliott Lake, and that was the first comp I went to since I was decided to lock down, and the atmosphere was amazing. Like, I cannot describe the strongman atmosphere to anybody. It is so crazy. Like, the vibe, the confidence, the energy in there is unreal.
She won regionals and has now gone on to win on the world stage and has even broken world records.
I did actually recently set a world record for the log, and that one was 167 pounds. I also do hold a world record, the world record for the deadlift, the axle deadlift. So that is 374 pounds. I weigh 125. Like, I'm almost hitting 4 times my body weight.
Tessier says if her story inspires even one person, that is her goal. As for competing, she is preparing for regionals, which will happen later this spring, and she will continue her strong woman journey as long as her body allows her to. Lindsay Alick, CTV News, Sudbury.
Plenty of birds to show you when we return your community close-up. You're watching First at 5. Our first community close-up takes us to Tomstown, southeast of Englehart. Kitty Lalonde says this fox came by for some donuts. She says the fellow is so pretty, it's a red fox that is darker because of a genetic trait called melanism. Thanks so much, Kitty. Let's go to Sault Ste. Marie. Andy Kozak sent us a couple of pictures of birds. He spotted a barred owl and also a downy woodpecker. Great shots there, Andy. Thanks so much. To Macker Township, south of North Bay, Stephanie Carlton says the turkeys are quite large this year and they are also hungry, feasting on her birdseed. Thanks so much, Stephanie. By the way, if you have any pictures, videos, or events you'd like us to showcase, you can email them to us at communitycloseup@bellmedia.ca. And there's more news for the North coming up at 6 o'clock. For now, continue watching as we hand things over to CTV National News.